wasn't the best.
No.
We are heading to the bedroom to see the progress that has happened here today with the fireplace area. Ooh. Hi. Well, that definitely looks different than when I left this morning. How fun. You can see the cutout where the insert will go. And that is where the mantle will go. And then from ceiling to floor, it shall be stonework. Ooh, how very exciting. How's it been going?
Pretty good.
I'm excited to pick tile. Life around here. Look at these two cozied up in front of the fire. Aw, it's not currently producing any heat, but still aesthetically it gives off cozy vibes. So that's gonna be it for day one, but the fireplace is just in with one screw. It's not permanently in yet. Brandon is hacking up a lung. It's not permanently in yet, but it's got a screw in it so it doesn't fall out and get damaged while we wait until the next phase. These are for the mantle, and Brandon can hang off of them and nothing wiggles around. So the mantle shall be nice and strong for whatever I desire to put upon it. And that's the general layout so far. We tried to keep it as tucked into the corner as possible so that we weren't losing a lot of floor space. So really not losing much space at all. I can fit back there, so it's about a human-sized space. But that's how things are looking. An example of the strength of the boards that shall support the mantle. We are getting the cement board up so that we can tile. When the tiles come in, I ordered the tiles last night. I ended up purchasing them from Lowe's, though I looked at very similar ones at Lowe's, Home Depot, and on Tile Bar. Really like Tile Bar, but I feel like the last time I ordered from Tile Bar, I didn't pay anything or much in shipping, and this time it was going to be $100 in shipping. All right.
Pretty bear.
Well, that wasn't the best.
No.
Oh, cute.
Pretty bear.
I didn't do that.
Rennie.
My poor plant.
It's fine.
Oh, my poor plant. Goodness gracious. Gotta put the dirt back in my plant. Good thing I haven't showered yet. Oh. Well, cement board is heavy, if you did not already know this. Let me get to this now. But if you can hear me, the mess is kind of contained. The plant is at least put back up. She looks a little sad. Luckily, I hadn't watered her recently, so I'm gonna give her some water and hopefully pep her back up. Poor thing. Brandon is cutting out the space for it. I'm still dirty. For the actual fireplace to go in. That's nice and loud.
Nice.
joys of doing projects like this when you're also living in the space, right? I'm stating the facts. That's all. I'm not complaining.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay. Ooh, look at that. It's like you measured it.
I did measure it. I just cut when I was up against the wood.
Oh. Okay. So as I was mentioning, we've purchased the tile, but it is going to be delivered to us not this coming week, but the next. So I imagine that we're kind of going to end up at a pause on this, just simply because the tile's not going to be available. We looked at some stuff that was in stock at Lowe's and Home Depot, and it just wasn't what I really wanted. So I'm going to... What is that face? It was.
You just didn't know what you wanted.
Which means what was available at Lowe's that we saw in person was not what I wanted.
You entirely changed your idea.
Exactly. That's why we didn't...
We would have probably got tile that you liked at Lowe's.
No.
If we knew the style of tile you wanted.
No, because I purchased it from Lowe's and it had to be shipped. It was not available in store.
We could have found something.
Not exactly what I wanted and purchased. So anyway, we probably could have found something similar. This is how we sharpen pencils around here.
Yes.
All right. Probably could have found something similar, but...
This slate's super dull.
Oh, that's good. Let's just add to the mess. Oh, yeah.
What's it?
Well, you're just flinging bits. Who knows where it's going? Anyway, tiles are coming. Gonna get this cement board up, and I'm very excited to show you the tiles when they arrive, but I'm gonna make you wait till they actually get here. I'm not even gonna describe them or talk about the pattern that we are putting them in. This is where we're at so far. It already looks amazing just because it's a pretty uniform color and you can really see the shape of things now. It's beautiful. It doesn't even have the tiles on it yet. I'm so in love. I was really torn. I think I mentioned in a couple of my other house to home episodes earlier on that I was really torn between putting it flat along this wall here versus this corner option, and I am so thankful that we went with the corner. It fits perfectly. It's like that corner was meant for this corner fireplace. So very pleased with the fact that we put it there, and so excited to see all of the other changes that come. I think this is going to be it for a little while. Like I mentioned, we're kind of at the waiting on tile phase now, and we're just at the mercy of Lowe's shipping. And the estimated date was not this week, it was sometime next week. So I think it's going to be a little while, but we are very excited that we are at least getting this project going, and it is well underway, and that we have essentially all the supplies we need. We just need the grout to go in between the tiles, and then I don't think it's called grout, but the mud to attach the tiles to the cement board. And then if you're wondering what's going on here, you maybe have figured it out, but that's where the mantle is going to be. So those pieces of wood are how the mantle will be secured to that location and will be nice and sound and strong and won't move. So I'm very excited to see it closed in. It makes it feel that much more real. It is a very exciting thing. So that's where we're at so far. And if you were really wondering, the mess is cleaned up. I mean, we can only do our best. But anyway, the mess is cleaned up. Plants are doing okay. Here's a nighttime view with it on. Still loving it, even though just as before, there's no tile. It's just very nice to see the shape. Guess what arrived today? 3 big boxes from Lowe's, and inside of these boxes are our tiles. So I'm going to cut the boxes open and we're going to take a little sneak peek. I don't think that when I show you what's inside, you'll be able to tell what our plan is as far as pattern goes, because I think that they are coming to us just as the tile themselves, and they're not in any kind of pattern when we buy them, if that makes sense. Am I making sense? I'm also focusing on cutting the box, and that's clearly a little distracting. I think I missed on this end. Okay, here we go. They're not gray. That is just some padding. Okay, I hear a little bit of rattling. Looks like they were packaged well, so I'm hopeful that means we will not have any damage. How do I do this one-handed? This seems like just padding, not... I don't think there's any tile inside this gray part. Okay, I think there's some additional boxes inside. Yes. Okay, really packaged quite nicely. So there's some of our tiles. Okay. Oh, that was a terrible noise. Real sorry about that. I'll take from the back. Show you. Ooh. Ah. So pretty. I love the slight imperfections on the edges. I know that is not everyone's vibe, but it is very much mine. And so I adore that. I love that they're not all going to look exactly the same. So here are our tiles. They're a 2x20 white tile. And all I'll say for now is that we are not laying them in a horizontal or a vertical pattern. So you can take some guesses, get down in the comments if you'd like, and guess on what pattern do you think we might be doing with these gorgeous tiles. They came earlier than expected. Today is Thursday, and they were not supposed to come till Monday. So I'm very excited to see them early. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. I set Brandon on a task of working on getting the sheetrock up. Ooh. Getting the sheetrock up here in the garage, which I think that not everyone sheetrocks the ceiling of their garage. I forgot to say that. We're sheetrocking the ceiling of the garage. And I don't think everybody does that. But this first box looks good. I'm excited about that. I feel like they did a nice job packaging it so that it was going to ship safely. Anyway, so we have quite a few of those. And Brandon will probably not love that I got into this box because it will make it harder to carry upstairs, but it is what it is. Anyway, we are sheetrocking, not that, that's pegboard. Sheetrocking, ew, that's also not sheetrock, that's something else. That is sheetrock on that end. We are sheetrocking the ceiling of the garage because since our master suite is up there, it just is a good idea to, one, provide some additional insulation to keep things warm up there and not to spend a ton of money in heating the space, but two, to also create a relatively airtight barrier for fumes and things that could happen down here where this is a garage. So anyway, that is what Brandon was doing today. And I didn't think these were going to come today, so we didn't have any plans of getting this project going today. And I think it was good that he worked on the sheetrock. He got about a third of it done, so he's going to need another couple days to get that squared away. But he'll probably pause on that because I'm not going to be able to wait too long for my tiles to start going up. We do need to buy a tile saw, though, because this is a lengthy project. Not lengthy, We haven't had a tile saw for our other tile projects, and it's just time to have one. So need to get that, and then this project can get underway. There's your update for now. Our tiles have arrived, and here is your reveal of what we are doing for a pattern. We are doing a herringbone pattern that I am very excited about, but poor Brandon is trying to figure out all the mathematical things that go along with accomplishing this pattern, because when you are doing this pattern, it needs to line up just so, or it's really not going to look great. So he's trying to get things centered, and then we'll work from the center off to the sides. So he's been using multiple squares and drawing some lines on the tiles to try to get everything lined up just so. I've got to say that I'm thankful he's doing that. I had this false intentions that I was going to tile the fireplace, because I said I want to be more involved in these projects other than just planning them, so I'll tile the fireplace. And that lasted for all of one conversation. We went last night on a Friday night after a long work week, which was absolutely not our first choice, but we have some plans later today, and we thought we might have sports for the kids as well, but things got canceled because of rain. So that got us a little extra time this morning, but we went last night and purchased the sponges, the spacers, a tile saw, and the mortar, which is what goes on the tile and the wall, and then you stick it on. And then I guess we still have some white grout from a previous project, so we did not buy any grout this time because we will use up what we have. How are you feeling about this, dear?
It's just like, this one doesn't, the bottom, this one isn't the same level as the bottom corner of that one, so it's just like,
yeah.
But this one's just gonna be like, how this is placed is gonna determine whether or not the rest of it's screwed up or not.
Yep, that's true. The very first ones are arguably the most important. It's good to take your time.
Yeah.
That's
so
my
you're wondering how why it's taking so long.
No. He's still working on getting over a cold that he's had for quite a few weeks. He also made a good point. He's wanted to continue to work on the sheetrock in the garage, on the ceiling of the garage, but of course the tiles came in a couple of days early. They weren't supposed to come until Monday, and they came on Thursday. And therefore I was really excited about the tiles and wanting him to get started on those as soon as he could. So we made a compromise, and his schedule just changed at work, so Monday is now going to be his day off, so he's going to devote some time to this weekend, but when Monday comes around he'll go back to working on the sheetrock in the garage, because his good points were that we've borrowed a drywall lift from his work, and that is absolutely necessary to be able to get this 5/8 inch drywall up to the ceiling, because it's very heavy. And also we're borrowing a stepladder from a friend, so we have the two items that we needed to borrow are both here and ready to be used, so it does make sense to just get it done now while we have those things, instead of having to return them and then ask to borrow them again at a later point. So like I said, we made a compromise. But I think that Brandon is also excited to try out his tile saw, because even though everyone was really tired last night, he proceeded to unbox it and get it all set up last night. Were you excited about your tile saw? That's all I get, yeah.
Yes. I'm excited about it. Let's use it at some point. Starting in the middle is just whole tiles.
Normally you'd be happy about that and not having to cut tiles.
Yeah, I mean,
Funny how things change. The tile saw will be put to good use because the bathroom is going to have a good amount of tile work, and as you know, if you've been watching our House to Home episodes, we have not touched the bathroom yet, so plenty of tile work to come even after this fireplace is completed. There's your update for the moment, and I'll touch base with you again later. Brandon has mixed the mortar. It's a lovely consistency, but let me move out of the light. It's just like mud. And then if you are curious about exactly what tiles we chose, they are this brand, Amatis. And that is their coordinating number, I suppose. They are 2 by 20 inches. I wanted a larger tile to do this pattern, so there you go. That's what we're working with. Sponges are getting broken open. I feel like we should move this chair back. It's gotta get messy before it gets beautiful. I think I'm gonna move that curtain too.
Took you over a decade of projects to realize this.
No, it's not something I didn't realize before. It's something I didn't want to accept before. I think I need to just slide it over like this. That would make a lot of sense, right? There we go. But I also was trying to be careful of that pretty right there. Okay, they're over here now and out of the way. And we are preparing to stick tiles on. Oh, my favorite level. I know I've told the story about this before, but it used to be my grandfather's, and it has been part of, I think, all of our home projects thus far.
anything that required a level. Because I don't have a 4-foot level. Well, I do, but
You don't have one that originated as yours. You have my grandfather's. Here goes nothing.
nope. It's gonna be a mess.
Oh boy. Progress update. Brandon's been working for
Own sizes, shapes, and your own patterns. You need to just have a plain old square tile somewhere, I swear.
I'll try to accommodate that somewhere in the bathroom, just do something simple.
Grand.
Other tile projects we've done in the house so far have not been super simple either. Well, the fireplace downstairs was.
Well, that wasn't just because it was the very first thing I did ever with tile.
True, but it was a simple pattern. But then we have hexagon-shaped tiles underneath our bar, from right underneath the bar to the floor. And I love those tiles, but they also have a pattern on them too, so it was not only lining up the hexagonal shapes, but also the pattern. It turned out beautiful. He did a great job. In my opinion, he's a pro tiler.
I've never seen a pro tiler.
Brandon, don't sell yourself short. Fancy. So fancy. Here is where we have left off today with this beautiful work. We had lunch and dinner plans today, so Brandon wrapped up work around noon, and this is where he was able to make it to. prior to that. And I feel like he has done a really nice job. I'm loving the way that the pattern is coming together and that we have this upward portion where the tiles are meeting in the middle. Really loving that. And he's, I think, a little bit frustrated, like he wishes he had made a little more progress. He's making the bed right now, so I was going to get his input, but he shouldn't be frustrated with himself, is my opinion, because...
What? 20,000.
But that's not the point. The point is, as you said early on, those very first 2 tiles that you put up, if they were not up correctly, then the rest of the entire project was going to be off and not look right. So taking the time that was necessary to make sure that everything was done right was absolutely worth it. So here's a closer look at our herringbone pattern so far. Oh, so lovely. Of course, she'll be all nice and cleaned up, and we will have white grout in there, but this is the messy portion that comes before the completed look. There's our rinsing bucket. We are decorating the floor, and that's always exciting. And yeah, these are the supplies that are going to hang out for a little while because he may touch on this project some tomorrow afternoon, I'm not sure. And then, as I mentioned earlier, on Monday he'll go back to drywalling the ceiling in the garage. So that's where we're at so far. Oh, just a quick update because Brandon washed them and cleaned them up, and they look even more gorgeous now. So there's a little look at them cleaned up. So pretty.